remains of my corrupted soul.
Okay. And welcome back to the Early Morning Sunday Show. This is the #1 show preferred by demons everywhere, so keep that in mind as you're watching. Your soul is mine. Or, once again, 30 minutes. So, whatever the case. The opening this week, that's out. It's on a mountain pass called Kenosha Pass, and we went out there a couple weeks ago. Just the beautiful yellow leaves, and we'd been there the year before, but we were there like in the we went by in the afternoon. We didn't know where we were at. I'm just driving roads, and I mean it was so jammed with people. It was insane. I go, well, look at that. Look at them yellow leaves. There's a lot of them. Now you have a choice of yellow, or yellow, or even yellow as far as leaves go. But it was pretty cool. So this year we got there really early, and we left the house at 6:30. It's dark out. Time we get there, it's 7:30, maybe it's just before 8. It's already packed. It's already packed with people. I mean, there's so many folks there. Time we left, it was worse though, but it was fun. It was a very, very nice walk, and we did a number of different things that day. But yeah, cool stuff. So part of Colorado. I've been getting out quite a bit now. The foothills are only about 30 minutes from where my office in the shop is at. As I'm on the western side of town, my office. I live on the eastern side, so I gotta go across. And so I've been, I finish up at noon or 1 o'clock, and generally then I'll just head up into the foothills to do some hiking. My arthritis makes it tough in the back, but I have a couple walking sticks now, and they really help, and I can get up and get going. And yeah, I did some pretty cool climbing lately, and having a good time trying to get these activities before the snow hits, and it gets too hard to get through the foothills. So just exciting times in Colorado. We're going to begin with an album that came out this year, and it is, I saw the concert just recently, The Worlds of Hans Zimmer. And this is the album that at the concert they said, hey, you can have this triple album set for only $100. Only $100. And then I sat down and went onto Amazon and found I can have this album for only $37 through Amazon. So we did that. Nice little insert in here. The vinyl's black, just trust me on that. And here we go. Open that up. Different people in there, though these people are not the people. Well, some of them are the same and some are different from when I saw the concert. I will say this is exactly the concert. I mean, the set list is exactly the same on what they did on here, same order. So they try to keep that way. So this is the Hans Zimmer concert where one of you did write and said, "Look, Ma, no Hans." It's true, Hans wasn't there, but he set it up. He composed, it's his music. The guy that was conducting it, friend of Hans, who works with Hans, Hans too busy, so he was just on the big screen. But Hans Zimmer, he's won 5 Grammys. I know Lionel Richie, he's off your list immediately. 7 Emmys, born in 57 in Frankfurt, which I think is just the coolest name, Frankfurt. Kind of just makes me want to have a hot dog. He is on the list of 100 living geniuses, which I was surprised when I saw that because he was put up before me. And I was, really? Come on. I thought I would be higher than Hans Zimmer, but not. So, well, good for Hans, right? What he did is he's integrated electronic music into orchestral arrangements, and he's done just a beautiful job of this. I mean, he has composed over 150 films. Pretty incredible, right? Who has time to watch all those damn films? Well, I guess he has to, because he has to compose the music for it. He took piano lessons for only 2 weeks. That was it. And he got tossed out of 8 different schools when he was young because he disliked the discipline of formal lessons. Isn't that amazing, man? He wasn't the kind of guy that wants to have someone telling him how to study. So, hey, out we go. So he self-taught himself how to play music. And he says by age 2, he was hearing music in his head. Most of us just hear voices in our head, but he was hearing the music, which is really kind of neat. He played keys for a synth group called Krakoto, I believe, but also he played synths on the bugles. And on Video Killed the Radio Star, he's just in there really quick. But he was part of that, which I did not know. But in the 80s, he met Stanley Meyer, and who was a prolific film composer, and it really changed his life as he began composing films. So on here you have Man of Steel, Driving Miss Daisy, the Rock suites on here, Interstellar suite, Dune suite, The Prince of Egypt suite. It's such a dulce de leche, very sweet on here. Wonder Woman, Sherlock Holmes, Inception suite, Dark Knight, Gladiator suite, Pearl Harbor, Kung Fu Panda, Power of One, Lion King, and the Pirates of the Caribbean suite. So, yes, it's a very, very sweet album. The concert was so good. I really enjoyed it. It's the first concert my wife has stayed awake. She stayed awake through the whole thing. That was amazing. And so I congratulated her for that. But, yeah. Really good. So this is The World of Hans Zimmer, Part 2, A New Dimension. So obviously, if you have Part 2, well, you just might as well go order Part 1, which is what I did. And Part 1 came out in 2019. That one's 2025. So I don't know if it's a success or whatever, but here it is. This one does not have an insert like the other one. And here we have Dark Knight, King Arthur, Mission Impossible 2, more Pearl Harbor, Rush, Lion King. The Da Vinci Code has one whole side of music. Madagascar, Spirit, Kung Fu Panda, The Holiday, Hannibal, Pirates of the Caribbean, Gladiator, and Inception again. So just different parts of movies. Very good. I really enjoyed this. Enjoyed that one. Soundtrack music is fun. I don't buy it like I used to, just because I don't. But Hans Zimmer, I like the way he does stuff. I think he just composes some memorable music that most of us know. And, just 150 films. Isn't that something? Self-taught. Even more crazy. Me and him on the list of 100 geniuses, living geniuses. That's just amazing, too. So, yeah. Hey, you never know, folks. One of these geniuses is going to drop off, and you might make the list also. switch into something else. And we'll move over to Japan. Sonic Flower. Sonic Flower out of Japan, formed in 2001, still going. This is kind of an offshoot, okay? It's the players are in bands, but Sonic Flower, I believe they've done 3 albums, and I have all 3 of the albums that I think they did, and they're great. I really like them. Tatsu Makami and Takanomi Hoski. There we have it. We're actually from a group called Church of Misery, and preferred by demons everywhere. But they formed this band to kind of do something different, and this is bluesy hard rock. And if you just kind of look at the picture, it looks like it's from the late 60s, 70s. And that is the feel you're going to get. This is Me and My Bell Bottom Blues, and this came out in 2022. And this group's wonderful. I really enjoy them, and this is a great, this thing's good. It's packed with fuzzy, distorted guitars. And if you're a fan of Caius, you would probably like that. Zonk Man. This, very 70s inspired, but at times you hear Soundgarden in there. I mean, even the vocalist at times, it sounds like he could sing on Soundgarden. So I found that to be interesting. Songs like Love Like Rubber. That's a fun one. Love Like Rubber. It just has this cool bluesy groove going on. There's Poor Girls. Poor Girl. Poor Girl. It's a neat instrumental. It just has this phenomenal groove that's happening, keeping the music going. You got Swinehead that is just packed with swaggering type riffs. I mean, it grabs you. This thing rocks. It's fun. It's exciting. Sonic Flower, again, the 3 albums I have from them, they are all just top notch. I really enjoy this group, and this, like the others, is incredibly good. Did I show the vinyl? I don't think I did, because oh yeah, I did show that already. So you did see the black vinyl. I just didn't get all excited about it. Sorry. So Sonic Flower. This is an album that's sent to me, and I didn't order it, didn't ask for it, and it says, "Oh, just go ahead and keep it." It's worth a lot of money on Discogs. This happened a while back. I just never showed it because I thought, what the hell is that? But it's called Music from Evan Alberti and Gooseworth, and it is the Amazing Digital Circus Original Pilot Soundtrack. The Amazing Digital Circus soundtrack. Okay, so, I mean, as this coming out, I go, well, I didn't buy this, so I get with them, and the person is going to go to the address they used to have lived here or whatever. That's the address they still have on file. Don't worry about it. All right, so I put this on, and I go, that is like the worst stuff I've ever heard. What is going on with that? And that was about a year ago, folks. Yeah, and it's been sitting in my to-show pile or whatever, and I just have not been able to bring myself to even do it, to show it. But I thought, finally, you know what? Let's just show it, do whatever with it. So, first, The Amazing Digital Circus. It's a YouTube show. It came out in 2013 and has over 100 million views. So, maybe a lot of you know all about this. I did not. I mean, it's just filled with these goofy digital sounds and whistles and stuff. Supposedly, there's a story happening in here. in this pilot, in this movie, where the main character, Pomni, tries to escape the digital circus, because it is one bizarre thing. I mean, I watched some of this. I go, this is bizarre. But Pomni ends up in this void. Eventually, Pomni has to accept that her fate, that she cannot leave the digital circus, and she has a mental breakdown. Yeah, cheerful stuff. The pilot itself has 397 million views. 397 million views on the pilot. So I am one of the few people, maybe a couple of you, that have not seen this yet. So I put this back on, and it just starts off with this. It sounds like an arcade game, okay? But then it does turn, and there's actually some decent music. When I first put this on, I couldn't get past the first song. I thought, this is horrendous. I mean, I don't want to listen to some little arcade type game going on, but there is some dark music in here. There's some happy, goofy music, but it's this dark stuff because, again, Pomni has a mental breakdown. So we get into all that kind of crap. Is it great? No. Does it go for a lot of money on Discogs? Yeah. Huh. All right. That's why, I could never play the vinyl stock market. I wouldn't know what to do. Buy. But yeah, so there you have it. The Digital Circus by Evan Eldoretti and Gooseworth. Hey, Gooseworth. Okay, The Digital Circus. It's better than my first listen. I'm going to tell you that. My first listen was just, I just wanted to throw up. Wow. So we talked about that. It was a little strange. Just want to talk about strange. Rip, Rig, and Panic. How's that one? And the name of the album is God. I think that's how Ben Rankin would say it. Mike, God. Yeah, maybe with the Australian accent, but Rip, Rig, and Panic. Now that's a name that no one else has had. Out of Bristol, UK, and from 80 to 83, so not very long. And what about this album, right? Well, first let's just see what we got in here. It's a 2-album set because they decided, hey, let's do this in it's a very cool label. Isn't that a neat label on there? I think that's pretty neat. Prods. Okay, high fidelity. They did it in 45 RPM. Made in London. I think that's pretty neat looking. So, they did 3 albums. Post-punk, experimental. What's interesting is Nina Cherry is the vocalist on here. And even on one of their albums, Don Cherry comes in and plays some trumpet, which tells you this is going to be weird. I don't think he's on this one, though. Very avant-garde elements of jazz are on here. Definitely some free jazz. Dave, local band Augury, I would expect you to have this. Michael P. Dawson, maybe. I don't know. Because there is that free jazz stuff going on. I bought it blind buy because it has a screaming monkey. That is why I bought this. A screaming monkey. I go, whoa. And another thing is like a post-punk. And I go, oh, post-punk. Okay, I like post-punk. Well, there's a lot more to it than that. What they did, this album infuses free jazz and free improvisation with kind of post-punk, funk, and reggae. So they kind of put that all together. In fact, this album was mostly improvisational. There was just very few rehearsals for it. It was just, let's go, let's do it. There's lots of odd vocalizing, primal, repetitive rhythms are in here, and a lot of honking and kind of buzzy. I mean, it's different, folks. It really is. It's filled with absurd titles. I mean, we got Wilhelm, Show Me the Diagram. Constant drudgery is harmful to your soul, spirit, and health. That is the whole thing. Through nomad eyeballs, knee deep in shit, totally naked without lock or key. Try box out of this box. Howl, cage bird. Those Eskimo women speak frankly. I mean, I swear, is this Frank Zappa? Did Frank Zappa, did he have something to do with this? I don't know, man. But this is really, beware of our leaders' love, the smell of napalm. I mean, okay. This is not music to relax to, okay? It's, again, very improvisational. It can be kind of noisy and messy at times. There's some interesting stuff on here at times, and other things is just like, I'm not getting it. My mind just doesn't wrap around this like it should. But it has a screaming monkey on the front. And, so it became worthy of buying for a monkey. Sometimes. That's what blind buys are about. You go, oh, let's try that. Oh, what the hell?
Eat before we go on.
I said,
Blind Buy. Elmo Williams and Hezekiah Early. Elmo Williams, Hezekiah Early. Blues. And it is Takes One to Know One. Elmo Williams, guitarist, born in Mississippi in 1933. Hezekiah Early, born in 1934. Down there, he plays harmonica and drums. And the label there. And this is off Fat Possum Records. So, this album came out in 1997. Now, at the same time, Fat Possum, they were putting out albums by Junior Kimball. You had R.L. Burnside. And then they put out an album by Elmo Williams and Hezekiah Early. Now, with the first two I mentioned, they did additional albums. These guys, they did not. They only did this one and done with them. But this takes traditional blues themes and, shall we say, it just turns them upside down in a lot of crazy ways. I mean, it just goes. So they're one of these interesting blind buys. It's filled with distortion. There's a lot of distortion happening over here. You have songs like humping and hollering. I mean, hooping and hollering. Humping and hollering. Well, you can hump and holler too, but this is hooping and hollering. And it's just, it's like getting sucked into a jet engine, man. It's so loud. It just goes. You have an instrumental. It's just called Insane Instrumental. That really does explain it. It really makes no sense, but it is kind of catchy. This is balls to the walls blues. It's loud, it's raucous, and these guys, they just go out there. They're having a good time, kind of just kicking ass and making a lot of noise. Okay, so it is not traditional blues in that way. But they are doing, just their Natchez Fire, Mother's Dead, Blue Jump the Rabbit, Nothing Man. Something different. All right. Finally, Barnes and Noble. And this is Gary Clark Jr. He born in 84 in Austin. He's known for fusing rock with, kind of with some hip hop stuff like that. I remember his first album came out, it was an EP. It was just so good, very blues oriented with a rock flavor. And since then, he's put out 6 LPs. Well, I saw this album at Barnes and Noble, and there goes my little hypey sticker thingy, and it was half price. So I thought, half price, well, I'm going to Gary Clark. I mean, blues, I like the blues, so I'm going to get that. I'll insert with some stuff. So I know Gary Clark. I have no idea about the music on this, so kind of a blind buy, right? The name of the album is called J Pig Raw. It came out in 2024. It was already half price at Barnes & Noble. This album blends blues, rocks, but also R&B it puts on here, hip-hop, and African music. And he collaborates on here with George Clinton, Stevie Wonder he's on collaborates with, and a few other, Valerie June, Nala. And when I put it on, I go, what the hell is this? Where is the blues? This is not the Gary Clark Jr. that I know. Definitely, he's out there trying different things, kind of experimenting. There is, you get some stuff like a Maktub, the beginning song. It has some fuzzy guitars, but with these hip-hop beats. Just kind of different, the one where George Clinton, Funk Witch You, yes, witch as in, it's a little slower, Clinton song. We have vinyl here, which is the blank side, it's 3-sided albums, that way you can get charged a little more, but yeah, that's the color, again, 2 LP set. This, additional listenings, it's better, but to me, it's kind of we're trying to do too much. We're going all over the place with this music. We put in all these different styles. I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, do this. And I just think it gets to be messy. It's just all over the place. Let's just say that. So, basically, I knew the artist, nothing about the album, kind of blind buy, half price. Let's give it a shot, and yeah.
Ourselves that we can be mad when we don't receive the paper. We come through bar and see to continue to look back and say that's the way it went. That's just 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 the way it went.
This is the video of what was that about? I mean, there's some good stuff, but blind buys, you never know. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Generally, I win. Maybe not on all these, but additional listens, they are better. Oftentimes, when we hate something, you got to listen to it 2-3 times and start to figure it out. That's all I got for this week. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have yourself a fantastic rest of the week. Check out 2 Guys Talking About Records, my podcast with Jim Gleason, and Sunday. Bye, everyone.